With the second largest population in the world and one of the most talented yet cost effective workforces, India holds a dual edge in the content business. On one hand, India has ample availability of skilled and affordable talent, and on the other hand, an increasing thirst for content consumption. India's market penetration and the content delivery infrastructure continues to expand. By December 2020, broadband subscribers had reached 747 million, and the smartphone user base increased to 448 million. 28 million Indians paid for 53 million OTT subscriptions in 2020. In addition, 284 million Indians consumed content which came bundled with their data plans. This just gives you a small nutshell of the penetration of the content delivery network that is fueling the growth in India. Before we go any further though, let's hear from some of the platforms and networks on what truly works for them and what's the kind of content that's being consumed on their platforms.
In India, the original content investment continues to be driven by the linear broadcasting business because majority of the content consumption continues to be on linear channels rather than OTT. Although the consumption of OTT is growing day by day, but TV will continue to dominate for next 4 to 5 years, especially in the kids category. Another trend that we have observed in India is the fact that the shows which do very well on the linear channels, these are the same shows which continue to perform very well on OTT. But this trend is bound to change as the demand for the original content will continue to grow and linear channels will soon reach a saturation point in terms of investing in the original local content. In terms of popular genres, first and foremost, it's the animation and not the live action, which will continue to dominate the kids category in India. And we don't see this changing anytime soon. Other than that, it's the comedy which rules the roost. Whether it's slapstick, slice of life, chase comedy, it always works. But if one is truly aiming to make a successful series in India, then one has to follow the formula of a Hindi commercial film. Little bit of everything. Comedy, action, funny dialogues, and you have a winner. As long as the story is well told.
Warner Media has two extremely well-established channel brands in India. Pogo, home to local animation, and Cartoon Network, which blends international shows with an Indian twist. While streaming is on the rise, India still is heavily reliant on linear TV as a source of entertainment, and animation has huge appeal. For both Cartoon Network and Pogo, having an original content strategy has been key to our success. Even during the pandemic, we have been able to launch a number of co-productions and originals. Our show T2 on Pogo and our localized version of Tom and Jerry with an Indian thought-over commentary track were two of the biggest launches on Kids TV last year. With single TV households in India still so prevalent, we have also been adapting more and more Bollywood into our programming. That way, the whole family is able to enjoy a show on different levels. With content that can truly resonate whatever the viewer's age, animation talent is definitely on the rise. Cartoon Network has had international success with our Emmy-nominated Lumput, a chase comedy cartoon. We have just renewed it for season 4 and it was created right here in India.
The consumption pattern has definitely changed in the last couple of years. With the pandemic and the lockdown, more and more kids being at home has definitely given them a chance to explore more content. So the average viewing time has definitely gone up across all TV channels as well as all the OTT platforms. The favorite genres in India still remain Indian mythology, slapstick comedy, chase comedies, and action. Overall, films and shows definitely have a larger viewing time preference, so kids prefer that. And for all our international producers who want to pitch to us, definitely Indian themes or their take on certain Indian stories is always welcome with us. Of course, in addition to the Indian themes, any universal topics or subjects or books, stories made out of that are also always welcome and interesting, but with the Indian touch to it, since the Indian audiences would like to identify and themselves with the overall subject of the show. Definitely these are exciting times for India.
Like any evolved market, Indian kids' consumption patterns are a mix between international content and locally produced regional or vernacular content. The platforms and the broadcasters definitely lean towards Indian themed content for the new commissioning. An interesting thing to note, though, is that the Indian content is slowly gaining ground outside India, overcoming hurdles to truly become global. Here's one example from Nickelodeon.
The timeline of Sammy and Raj was initially pitched to us by Anu Sika at Viacom 18. We've been talking to Anu about working with her and her team for some time to find a concept that works for the Indian and the international audiences. The show is about two boys who have an app on their phone which allows them to rewind, fast forward, pause, and slow down time. We worked with the studio Reliance Animation and Viacom 18 to really identify what works well in Indian storytelling, and that is slapstick and humor. So we fused that with the emotional drive of more Western storytelling components to make sure that these stories work really well for Nickelodeon's International and Nickelodeon's India channel. We love working with Viacom 18 and Reliance Animation. The director, Vikram, and Jyoti have been absolutely fantastic and integral to creating really compelling stories that work for all our audiences on the Nickelodeon International and India channels. I'd love to find an idea to work with them on once we've wrapped production on Sammy and Raj. Indian characters are actually very popular, but they do suffer from language barriers. Some of the silent shows tend to do better, like Puk Dum Puk Dai, and some of the Indian shows actually do better when dubbed into localized language. One of the most popular shows in the world, Motu Patlu, is in fact the fourth most popular show globally. So it's already a huge success. From our perspective, we'd love to work with the India teams to find more characters that we can bring to a Western audience.
As I mentioned in the beginning, that India has a vast talent pool that's affordable and skilled. There are a lot of studios who are producing world quality content in India. Here's from a few stakeholders on what's being produced in India currently. But before that, Biren explains very simply on why work with India.
Why do people come to India to produce their content? I have a single word for that answer: seamlessness. Co-productions or making content in different countries concurrently, even on the same project, is something that's been going on for years, and 90% of all television animation content is actually produced in that fashion. But why do people go to certain places to do that? In other countries, it could be government grants, it could be the fact that people can find capital that helps them to take risk, and we have none of that in India. In India, it's a straightforward business where either we produce our own IP or a few companies participate in joining hands with global companies to produce that IP. But people come here because of the ease by which we've been able to evolve the production mechanism and the creative chops in order to work across other people's pipelines and workflows and the ways by which you can create great stuff on budget, on time.
Toons is an award-winning animation studio based on Trivandrum, India. We started off more than 2 decades back, at a time when animation was not even a sector in this part of the world. Today, Toons is a 360-degree media powerhouse which has dedicated units for IP creation, production, distribution, digital and gaming content, licensing and merchandising, as well as skill development. We produce over 10,000 minutes of 2D and CGI kids and family animated content per year. Over the years, We have worked with the world's leading studios, networks, and partners, including Walt Disney Studios, Turner, Nickelodeon, Sony, Universal, BBC, Paramount, etc. Toons has produced some of the most highly rated international shows such as Wolverine and X-Men with Marvel, Speed Racer Next Generation with Lionsgate, Mostly Ghostly with Universal Studios, Playmobil with Sony, Dragonlance with Paramount Pictures, Freephonics with BBC, Gummy Bear and Friends and Fruit Ninja with Google, and many more. There are several high-profile projects currently in production at Toons, and that too with the world's top creators like Paris Poss and Pal with Keith Chapman, the creator of Paw Patrol, and JG and the BC Kids with the renowned American actress Janet Hubert, and Sunnyside Billy, conceptualized by the legendary animation director Olivier John Marie.
Digitunj is one of the largest animation studio from India. We are located in Noida, Delhi NCR and Kolkata. We are about 400 team member working in Digitunj. We are majorly working on 2D and 3D animation services. We are providing majorly 2D and 3D animation services. At present, we are working on several 2D animation TV series as well as 3D animation series and feature film as well. We provide services from pre-production to post-production. And as far as I would also like to highlight that India is the best place for outsourcing or do the production because of the kind of the volume of the artists we have, and those are English speaking talent, and of course the labors are quite cheaper here in India. So this could be a best place to work anywhere in India. We also do co-production. In past we have done couple of co-productions with European producers, and at present we are co-producing Achu Season 2 with Rai Television, Studio Campadeli and Cartoon Balino. It's 52 into 11 episodes, and we have already delivered 26 episodes, and we are holding worldwide right with a certain percentage on that. So I think for animation studio based in India, they also this could be also a good opportunity for them while they don't have much exposure on international level. So for the Western, with the help of co-production opportunity, they can invest into that project and get some exposure on the international level. For Western producers or whomever they would like to co-produce in India, I think this could be an opportunity for them while they have already raised a certain fund and having limited broadcaster, they can do here as well.
At Green Gold Animation, currently we are working on both 2D and CG animated shows, be it original IPs, co-productions, or service jobs. Our passion lies in creating original IPs with a focus on storytelling, which I believe is our greatest strength. We have worked on television shows, television movies, web series, originals, and as well as theatricals. We believe we have been successful in creating content that resonated irrespective of culture, geography, and language. Our recent Netflix original, Mighty Little Beam, has been a great success story worldwide, and in a short span has become one of the most viewed kids shows on Netflix. Mighty Little Beam is a great example of a local story going global. On the domestic front, we continue to produce content for kids television channel, and at the same time, the same content is being embraced by digital and OTT platforms. As the reach increases, kids consumption in India also increased multifold. While quantity was the focus earlier in our market, slowly the demand is more towards quality content and great storytelling. In terms of licensing and merchandising, we have been very lucky to have the love of children for Chhota Bheem, which translated to success in the L&M space, as well as established brand Beam as the most popular kids brand in India. In this space, domestically, Green Gold has been able to compete with the likes of Marvel and Disney owing to this love from children.
Technicolor in India has really become a bellwether for the kind of content that can be produced in the kids media world. High-end animation, high-end visual effects, high-end computer games art, AR, VR, and everything that's becoming immersive, pervasive, and also virtual. This is really an opportunity for Indian talent to shine and to be able to hone their skill sets in an ever-evolving landscape. We produce television series for DreamWorks Animation, Walt Disney, and Nickelodeon, and these are the highest end shows that you can find. So if one has to translate a live-action franchise like Fast and Furious, or Star Trek, or SpongeBob, or any of the big titles, India is the place now that really is the go-to center for creating this work. We've seen over the last 10 years that when simple work in visual effects used to come in for roto and prep and paint and match move and stuff like that, today you're seeing all of the high-end work getting done in India. Large teams that in our company are compositing the final elements of large movies that have won the last few Oscars. 1917 and Lion King and The Jungle Book and things that are really cutting edge in terms of the way in which they are developed, visualized, produced, and move the artistic barrier. And that's India. So in a nutshell, we're there.
Indian studios have been actively engaging international talent in their pipelines, especially writers, musicians, and animators. If you are a professional looking to work with Indian studios, this just might be the best part of the video for you.
Toons has studios and subsidiaries in different parts of the world, including Telegale, the Emmy award-winning full-service Irish production house. We also have production facilities in New Zealand and Turkey. We have international talents from across the world working in these studios in various departments of animation production. Almost all of our projects basically comprise of international teams working together remotely from different parts of the world. We cater to both the domestic and international industry. We have projects under the production for some domestic kids television networks in India. However, since majority of our projects are international productions, it is not really necessary that all of our talent needs to have an understanding or exposure to Indian context. Toons is always open to new talents, no matter where they are from. We strongly believe that an international and diverse team can add a lot of value to our creative output. To be part of our team, you can reach out to me directly or connect with our HR team.
We at Shemaroo have been working with international talent since the last couple of years, especially writers. And writers definitely need to have some exposure to Indian culture if they have to connect to the Indian audiences and to understand their tastes and preferences. We also work with a few musicians and definitely a lot of animators from the international market. So yeah, working with international talent and collaborating with them is definitely something that we look at Shemaroo.
Green Gold is working on shows both for the Indian market as well as the global market. Over the years, we worked with artists, illustrators, designers, and writers from different parts of the world, either as consultants, employees, or freelancers. Today, we work with team members from the USA, Europe, Argentina, Philippines, and Singapore. Any artist from the world over is welcome to reach out to us via our website or the social media. Our HR team always keep a close eye on every request we receive. We always prefer the talent to have the basic understanding of India's culture, but that is not a must. As the content getting produced by us has global reach, the need for artists to understand the cultural context, the history, and nuances of different cultures worldwide has become a hygiene requirement across the world.
We are always open to the idea of working with international talent, be it writers, musicians, directors, or producers, as long as the subject is universal enough, because the Indian nuances can be added by the Nick India team. For us, the only concern and overriding factor is our budgets. As long as they can agree to that, we are more than happy to collaborate with them.
Whether you are a professional or an organization and looking to work with Indian counterparts, or even if you want market intel, conduct a market study, there are various state and national level bodies who can be of assistance to you.
Media and Entertainment Association of India, that is MEI, is the only national body focused on media and entertainment sector in India. Our members are spread across sectors, be it producers, distributors, platforms, content developers, service providers, etc. We organize business matchmaking both inward and outward and build Indian pavilions at various international markets. Indian Media and Entertainment Conclave is our flagship event, India's largest B2B matchmaking event. We work with all stakeholders in India, including the government, whom we advise on policy-related issues and business growth. If anyone is looking to India in this sector, then please contact us to help you identify and connect with right partners.
ABI is the trade body in Karnataka, headquartered in Bengaluru, where we have seen government sponsor the animation, visual effects, games and comics industry like no other in the country. Other states are now beginning to follow suit, and we have a national policy in the making, but our leadership here has straddled many spaces. Academia, industry, and the government working together. Our annual conference, GAFEX, has footfalls of about 4,000 people a day, and the world's biggest mentors and people that come in from all of the large companies and publishers and studios in order to inspire the young folks in this country. We've seen that there is a possibility to fund startups. We've given about 15 startups government funding in order to create their pilots. We have an emerging marketplace in order for the business-to-business transactions between buyers and sellers to be facilitated, where people couldn't go to expensive markets across the world and pitch their projects there. And finally, and most importantly, we have a center of excellence where we've invested in putting up the world's latest technologies in motion capture and scanning and green screen shoots and an incubation center and a virtual studio, so that the tools of modern cinematography and the way in which content will be made in the future will all be enabled on a digital platform. That is the vision that we are seeing in progress.
TWAGA stands for Telangana Visual Effects Gaming and Animation Association, an exclusive non-profit association of media and entertainment industry in the Telangana state, with an objective of creating a business collective of small, medium and big-sized studios. The government of Telangana has been supporting a variety of economic and industrial activities by initiating specially designed policies to promote the growth of the AVCG industry and making Telangana a hub. TWAGA also helps international studios connect with local players to help each other grow by conducting various networking events such as India Joy. The efforts of TWAGA have been significant in building the industry. The association is led by industry leaders and creative minds in this space.
SAIC stands for Society of AVGC Institutions in Kerala. It is basically a collective of studios working in the animation, visual effects, gaming, comics industry in the state of Kerala. SAIC was formed in 2019 as part of my initiative to bring together the artists and professionals working in the AVGC industry in the state. Kerala has produced several renowned and sought after techno-creative professionals in the entertainment industry, whether it is cinematographers, sound designers, or even animators. We have some of the best talents working in the top entertainment organizations across the world from Kerala. There are also a number of independent artists and small studios operating here. SAIC is basically a collective to support these artists and studios. SAIC's activities include upskilling these artists, seeking new opportunities, and collaborating together for projects and help the governments in policy making. For international studios looking at India, SAIC could act as pointer to direct them to the right partners for specific services, including creating high quality animation content with very good value for money.
The Export Promotion Council has been backing our sector with various initiatives. They have a strong reach into the government bodies and tie-ups with various consulates across the world. This can help the industry with clearances, speeding up processes, including things like visa issues.
Electronics and Computer Software Export Promotion Council (ESC) is India's premier trade promotion organization in the areas of electronics and information technology. ESC has a membership base of over 2,300 Indian ICT companies spread across the country, and we work as a bridge between the government and the industry on various policy and promotional matters. The Council has steered the direction of India's IT exports from a meager $200 million in 1989 to $155 billion in 2020. ESC has institutional linkages with over 50 global partners, industry associations to enhance trade and cooperation of Indian companies with global buyers. Animation and related services being core of our focus sector. We are regularly promoting networking and business opportunities between Indian and global companies through focused trade exhibitions, buyer-seller meets, and virtual business meets, etc. ESC also assists international companies to set base in India or finding a right partner to expand to Indian marketplace with requisite support for market study, feasibility, legal and statutory compliances through our channel partners. I'm sure you would like to be part of India's success story. Don't miss it out and connect with us now. Namaskar.
In India, largely the policy support system for animation, visual effects, gaming and comics is at the state level. Karnataka was the first state in India to have a dedicated animation, visual effects, gaming, comics, AVGC policy. And now there are multiple states who have thought out their own policy and are vying to get businesses to set shop by offering a host of incentives. Telangana is one such state leading in AVGC sector.
Telangana and our capital city of Hyderabad have, over the last few decades, about a decade and a half to be precise, have become a very thriving and a very important center for the animation, gaming, VFX, multimedia, computer vision, AR and VR. In these for these sectors, I feel very proud to mention two of them, the two big domestic players, Green Gold and BQ, who have India's largest or biggest animation studios located in Hyderabad. There are multiple reasons why companies prefer to come to Hyderabad, but if I have to list out three of them, the most important reasons why Hyderabad is preferred over other comparable cities, I would say that the availability of talented workforce is one very important driver. Two good things about Hyderabad's talent. One is that the talent is extremely affordable. And the second important thing is we did not recognize it or realize it till a time ago, but now we have lots of evidence. And that evidence suggests that the talent in Hyderabad is much more loyal. Other very important thing that I'll mention here is that a very supportive ecosystem that has been created. Government has played a very important role, but many of you would know the industry also has a very active industry association, which works very closely with the government, which is called TVAGA, the Telangana Visual Effects and Animation and Gaming Association. So all of us together have ensured that there is good quality infrastructure available so that companies find it easy to start working right from day one. We also are in the process of building a huge dedicated facility, which is called Image Tower. It should be ready by the end of 2022 or at least in the first quarter of 23. This is a 2 million square facility, which is a 24-floor building with all modern and innovative workspaces with common facilities like data centers, green screen rooms, VFX studios, mocap studios within that tower. So it will be a kind of a one-stop shop for all your requirements. Ecosystem also has other institutions which are extremely relevant and crucial. So for example, the country's only center of excellence, which focuses on this sector, is located again here in Hyderabad. This has been set up jointly by our government and Government of India. Center of Excellence, one of course is to provide a coordinating role, also encourages lots of R&D, product development, also gives wings to lots of startup ideas. There are many, as you know, India has become a very important destination for innovation, for entrepreneurship. Hyderabad also has a very thriving startup culture. So those startups who are related to this particular sector, the animation, gaming, VFX, computer vision sector, they get support from the Center of Excellence. There is actually an incubator space of roughly around 20,000 or 25,000 square feet. And most importantly, the government actively works in promoting business development for all our homegrown companies. So, for instance, we organize a mega festival every year, which is called India Joy. This is a symposium of AVGC sector events under one umbrella. And we have received lots of international participation also, of course. Last year, because of the prevailing circumstances, we could only do virtual. But when it becomes an in-person event, as it has been in the past, we really find the kind of response, the kind of turnout to be so amazing and so heartwarming. Lots of international companies come there. So the government also is very kind of keen to promote this sector. We have a dedicated policy. Under this policy, we provide incentives to companies like tax rebates and monetary grants. Plus, there is an ease of doing business, which clears all their approval processes, registration processes on a fast track way. If you are a very large company and if you are keen to take land from us, the government also has a land bank under which subsidized lands are given to companies. So these are some of the advantages which make Hyderabad a very fascinating destination. I know that in the past few years, many global companies have chosen to come to Hyderabad. I know that quite a few American companies have done that, but I am very keen to bring European companies also who have an interest in India to come to Hyderabad. And I'm very keen to look at the UK opportunities as well. And through this conference, I want to reach out to all of them. Anyone who is looking at India, do give us a chance to understand what is the value proposition that is available for you here in Hyderabad. And I'm very, very confident that the value proposition that we offer here is far superior to what you will get in any other comparable Indian city.
Whether you're looking at selling your content in India or working with your Indian counterparts as a professional or as an organization, the right time is now. India is waiting for you.